today to discuss how the Small Business Administration, the SBA, can expand and support investment in our nation's small manufacturers. Last week, the committee examined how the Small Business Investment Company program could help channel more private capital into American manufacturing. To better understand the urgency of this situation, we need to take a closer look at the numbers. And let me tell you, folks, this is staggering. Over the past 40 years, we did not simply lose manufacturing jobs. We witnessed the steady erosion of our industrial sector to China's delight and advantage. Over the last 25 years in Iowa alone, we have lost nearly 1 in 6 manufacturing jobs. American manufacturing employment has fared even worse over the last 40 years, falling by 28% and reaching depths we haven't seen since 1946. Only 3.7% of Americans are employed in manufacturing today, half the share we had 40 years ago, and barely a third of our peak in the late 60s. To put that in perspective, there are nearly twice as many people working in state and local governments than on the factory floor. This is not simply an economic decline, it is a hollowing out. The steady loss of skills, infrastructure, and investment in manufacturing undermines our ability to innovate and scale new technologies, leaving our homeland weakened and vulnerable. The reason for this is not a mystery. Government policies that encouraged offshoring production without regard for the long-term damage done to our domestic productive capacity. Today, the consequences are visible in every corner of America. Shuttered plants, decaying factories, and empty parking lots stand as monuments to the multi-generational disintegration of hard-earned knowledge, talent, and tradition that once formed the bedrock of our nation. But here's the good news. We have a president and SBA administrator who understand what is at stake. They recognize the size and complexity of the work needed to revitalize American manufacturing and are committed to rebuilding our industrial strength from the ground up. As we discussed during last week's hearing, the SBIC program will continue to play its vital role in expanding our productive capacity by facilitating private investment and through federal partnerships like that between the SBA and the Department of Defense's newly established Office of Strategic Capital, something I championed in the annual defense bill. But that is only the beginning. We must do more. Today, we welcome Administrator Loeffler to discuss the SBA's Made in America Manufacturing Initiative and the efforts underway to support the small businesses that make up 98% of our nation's manufacturing base. Part of that effort involves the Made in America Manufacturing Finance Act, which I was proud to introduce last month alongside Senator Coons. This bipartisan legislation would double the SBA-backed loan limit from $5 million to $10 million for small manufacturers who need that capital to modernize, grow, and train the next generation of American workers. That investment will have a meaningful impact across the entire supply chain. Because the smallest startups to the largest firms all rely on small manufacturers to get the job done. Revitalizing our industrial base and reclaiming our ability to make things in America starts with small businesses. We must ensure that cutting-edge innovation and high-speed, high-quality production happens right here at home, not overseas. If we are serious about competing with and beating China, creating good-paying jobs, and restoring economic resilience, we must empower our small manufacturers to lead the way. This bipartisan legislation takes a bold step in that direction. I am grateful that we're joined today by Administrator Loeffler, and I look forward to hearing from her how Congress can better equip the SBA to invest in the industrial revitalization of America.